Still on me?
Please remain standing for the national anthem of St. Lucia. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. We shall now have the academic procession. The academic procession will be led by the Grand Marshal, Dr. Kathy Depredin. The graduates will follow, starting with the Division of Teacher Education and Educational Administration, then the Division of Agriculture, the Department of Health Sciences, the Division of Art Science and General Studies, the Department of Continuing Education at the Moore Campus, the South Campus, the Southern Extension, the Division of Technical Education and Management Studies. They will be followed by the faculty in academic dress, members of the Board of Governors, registrar and senior college officials, vice principal and guest speaker, the chairperson and representative from the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations, and Sustainable Development. We shall now begin the academic procession. Division of Teacher Education and Educational Administration are donned in yellow. Followed by the Division of Agriculture wearing green hoods. They are followed by the Department of Health Sciences. color is bronze. Entering now are graduates from the Division of Art, Science, and General Studies, represented by the color blue. General Studies is still processing in, one of our larger divisions at the college. The Division of Teacher Education and Educational Administration, the Division of Continuing Education now follows. They wear peach hoods. Our final and largest division, ladies and gentlemen, the Division of Technical Education and Management Studies, wearing white hoods. Division of Technical Education and Management Studies are still coming in. It's comprised of several departments: the Department of Building Studies, the Department of Business and Secretarial Studies, the Department of Electrical and Electronic Studies, the Department of Hospitality Studies, and the Department of Mechanical Studies. Our final court of graduates, ladies and gentlemen, and they were followed by our academic staff. And we now welcome members of the Board of Governors, Registrar, and senior college officials, the Vice Principal and guest speaker, as well as the chairperson and representative from the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations, and Sustainable Development. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We begin with an invocation, and I welcome Deacon Robert Harvey to lead us in prayer.
Let us bow our heads as we place ourselves in the presence of God our Heavenly Father, asking Him to pour forth His blessing upon this event so significant in the lives of His sons and daughters. God our Heavenly Father, author of life, giver of all good gifts, source of all wisdom and knowledge, we come before you today, our hearts brimming with love and gratitude. Father, we give thanks for these sons and daughters of yours, the graduating class of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College of the year 2018. Dear loving Father, we wish on their behalf to thank you for all those who in one way or another have contributed to making this day and this event a reality. We thank you for the education officials and those charged with the guidance of this college. We thank you for the Vice Principal and members of the college administration. We thank you for the college staff, academic, technical, and vocational, the support staff, the maintenance and security personnel, Indeed, Lord, we thank you for the entire college community. Father, we also thank you in a very special way for the parents, and in some instances, the spouses and partners, without whose assistance, encouragement, and support, the achievement of these graduates would not have been possible. Dear Heavenly Father, as our college graduates depart to further their professional development, to enter the job market, or to create business opportunities of their own, pour forth your Spirit upon them, the Spirit of wisdom, the Spirit of good counsel. May they use the knowledge and skills and attitudes acquired at this college in a creative and innovative ways to enhance and improve the quality of life of our St. Lucian society, and to promote development locally, regionally, and worldwide. Keep alive within them, Lord, that spirit of curiosity and that insatiable quest for lifelong learning, which are the gifts of your divine Spirit. Dear Lord and Father, as they leave this illustrious institution, inspire in them the pursuit of excellence in their various fields of endeavor, conscious that in so doing, they are merely continuing the legacy of other graduates of this college who continue to serve the St. Lucian Society and the region in positions of responsibility and leadership. Dear Lord, remind them especially that reason, knowledge, and skills are not the be-all and end-all of life. Faith in you, our God and Father, and in the values and principles of your beloved Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, must guide their lives, both private and public, so that at the end of this earthly journey, they may reap the eternal rewards which you have promised. We ask these prayers in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Please remain standing, and in this solemn moment, we ask you to join us in observing a minute of silence in memory of students and members of our college community who were lost during the academic year. And silently offer up your own thoughts. May they rest in peace. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. Thank you, Deacon Harvey, for offering us a word of prayer as we begin this ceremony. Your Excellency, Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, Governor General of St. Lucia and Lady Snack. Your Excellency, Dame Perlette Louise, former Governor General of St. Lucia. Honorable Alan Chasney, Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Economic Growth, Job Creation, External Affairs and Public Service, or his representative. Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, officials of the Ministry of Education, Chair and members of the Board of Governors of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, members of staff of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, specially invited guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, Good morning. A very good morning to you. This is the 32nd graduation ceremony of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. We are here to celebrate the achievements of the class of 2018. This is a time of pride for all of us present here, and we are happy to bask in the moment, blessed with beautiful weather. My name is Natalie Jolie Fanis, a lecturer at this esteemed institution, and it is a pleasure for me to be the director of proceedings this morning. I would now like you to help me invite the chair of the board of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, Dr. Joycelyn Fletcher, to offer the welcome remarks. Dr. Fletcher.
Your Excellency, Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, Governor General of St. Lucia and Lady Snack, Your Excellency, Dermpolet Louisi, former Governor General of St. Lucia, Honorable Alan Michael Chasney, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Economic Growth, Job Creation, External Affairs and Public Service, or his representative, Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, officials of the Ministry of Education, members of the Board of Governors of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, members of staff of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, specially invited guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Minister of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations and Sustainable Development, the Board of Governors, the management, faculty, and staff of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, I welcome you here to the 32nd graduation ceremony. Today, unlike any other time in the history of the college, the report of the Board of Governors is presented by an interim chair. This has been a turbulent period for the college. You students have had to stand strong and persevere with circumstances and trials that you did not understand. The faculty have had to focus even more fiercely on ensuring that you gain what you came here to achieve under the most trying conditions. The Vice Principal, who has been holding the rudder halfway through the academic year with no principal on board, the committed management and staff have rallied around this interim board to ensure that the business and mandate of the college is realized. On behalf of the interim Board of Governors, I wish to take this opportunity to sincerely thank you, the SALCC Staff Association, and the St. Lucia Teachers Union for partnering with the interim board to ensure that the college is a safe and healthy environment conducive to working and learning. Let me assure you on behalf of my board members that we are committed to continuous dialogue and a productive working relationship that will benefit and enhance the stability and viability of the college during the remainder of our tenure. The interim Board of Governors was appointed as a result of the active board's sudden resignation. This interim board was faced with many challenges that were pre-existing for quite some time and had to be immediately dealt with. This required that the board hit the ground running with hardly any breathing space. They have been troopers, having met about 12 times with some managers, union officials, some faculty and board, and of course our normal board meetings to deal with outstanding matters in our 3 months existence. There have been many complaints relating to the condition of the infrastructure of the college. This has been widely publicized, a situation which has existed for quite a number of years. The government of St. Lucia has added to the regular annual subvention an amount of $3 million to assist with the many challenges that the college has been faced with since the increase in salaries 4 years ago and the reduction in the subvention that took place at that time also, which created some serious constraints for the college. To date, the board and college have addressed the following. The old hospitality building. There were complaints of air quality. The painted desks were removed from the classrooms and aired for 3 days and then returned. The entire building was deep cleaned. The Grace Augustine building, there were complaints of stench when it rains. The building was visited by the facilities manager and representatives of the Ministry of Labor. No stench was found. However, the entire building was deep cleaned. The electrical issues in that building has been dealt with prior to the union meeting. The Montoute House, there were complaints of leaks in the roof. Leaks were located and stopped and are continuing to be monitored. Stain marks were sealed and blocked and the ceiling painted. Currently, the facilities management unit are sealing and repairing windows and doors. The work is still ongoing and hopes to end soon. Upon completion, the Labor Department would be called in to conduct final assessment. The Sehi building, there were complaints of plywood blocking windows in the Sehi room 2. Plywood blocking windows were replaced with plexiglass and the building was deep cleaned. A new air conditioning unit is to be installed quite soon and work is still ongoing. The old technical wing, there were complaints of blockage of the northern corridor, bad drop-ins in the room. In room 6, damaged doors and windows. Mostly all the doors and windows were repaired. The balance is to be done shortly. The entire building was deep cleaned. The termite-ridden partition that separates 6 and 7 was replaced, and the reason for the blockage was explained, and a plywood-covered corridor on the ground floor to the northern end of the building is being constructed. Funding has been allocated, and rehabilitation of the Leighton F. Thomas, Camden, and business buildings are in progress. The housekeeping and the Victor Archer buildings, well, they have been vacated based on a World Bank assessment that was done during Hurricane Thomas. Funding is now being sourced for that as well. The two departments, the Department of Nursing and the Division of Teacher Education and Education Administration, which were at the Goodlands Extension, have been relocated to the Monroe College and UE Open Campus, respectively, due to electrical problems. At this juncture, we wish to extend our deep appreciation for the work of the Ministry of Labor, and in particular, Mr. Griffith and his team, for their cooperation through this most difficult of times for the college. Mention must be made of Mr. Foster, head of the Facilities Management Department, to whom was told, no excuses, only solutions and results. He and his team worked day and night, weekends included, to ensure that we got results. And they kept me, of course, on my toes day and night because, you see, there is a distinct advantage living almost on the campus, right there. So they could always find me. The bursar, Mr. Weeks, must also be acknowledged, and he works closely with Mr. Foster, ensuring that he got the necessary assistance that he needed. He, too, was always on my doorstep. Some of the college's achievements we will now highlight. A group of students wrote, directed, and performed a Little Folk Tale, a theater production which was performed for Nobel Laureate Festival 2018. This success was replicated in partnership with the Cultural Development Foundation. I think this was a juncture that you should say thank you and give them a hand of applause. The college continues to make strides and facilitates the various sporting disciplines. SALCC continues to dominate in athletics, basketball, and football. SALCC is the champion school for 2018, which was awarded by the Department of Youth Development and Sports. Aren't you proud? The college participated in the 2018 Windward Islands Debating Competition, which was held in St. Vincent from the 2nd to 3rd March 2018. SALCC received trophies for winner of the semi-final round, first runner-up in the debate competition, They also won 3 Best Speaker Awards. Semi-final, Omar Kombi. Final, Raheem Joseph. And overall Best Speaker of the competition, Raheem Joseph. Congratulations. Our faculty are also doing things. Under the Illumination series, the college has been hosting a series of lectures which commenced February 2018 and ended October 2018. The lecture series are designed to help faculty, researchers, and experts in their fields share their research and innovation to support the development of the mind of our society and to support the exercise of intelligence at all levels in a wide variety of areas. Our staff members who have presented to date are Winston Fulgens, Rohan Jebatis, and Dr. Kathy Depredine. The college wishes to thank you for your continued initiative. Of course, sadly, the college has seen the loss of 2 students. Mr. Brandon Santoma, a second-year student of the Division of Arts, Science, and General Studies, and Mr. Bradley Cyril of the Division of Technical Education and Management Studies in a motor vehicle accident on Saturday, 20th January 2018. They are sorely missed, especially at this time. In program development, the Division of Arts, Science, and General Studies has introduced an associate degree in humanities, sciences, and social sciences. During this period, faculty completed training in facilitating online courses from the Commonwealth of Learning. The college has under consideration by the Board of Governors a number of projects which are being proposed, and they are as follows. The college intends to improve Wi-Fi access through the AeroHive Wi-Fi system, which will facilitate technology, enabling learning. The college is developing the online capacity of the Department of Continuing Education. The college has also initiated a project to develop and implement an e-learning policy. Some of the projects that the board is considering is the establishment of a driving school and improving the revenue generation of the college farm. There have been some resignations. Mr. Shane Joseph, Mr. Johannes Semporian, and Mr. Alan Hippolyte. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. There have also been some new appointments. Ms. Marcelina John, Law, from the Division of Arts, Science, and General Studies. Ted Sandiford, Digital Media. Ms. Charlene Leslie Lubin, French. Mr. Ozzy King, Physics. Dr. Ayodele Hippolyte, Language and Communication. Laboratory Technicians, Miss Mary Lawrenson, Miss Bina Joseph, Miss Robin Joseph, and Division of Teacher Education, Colleen Celestine Doxley, Technical Vocational Food and Nutrition. ITS Department, Mr. Brian Houghton, Mr. Marcellus Simeon, and Mr. Alton Sanley. Welcome to SALCC. We hope your tenure with us will be enterprising, enlightening, enjoyable, satisfying, and productive. We have also had some retirees, Ms. Dennis Edwards from Housekeeping Department, Mr. Nicholas Emmanuel, Ms. Adelina George Reed, Lecturer DTEMS, Mr. Matthew St. Paul, Lecturer DTEMS, and Mr. John Stanley, Lecturer DTA. The board, management, and staff, faculty, and students are deeply grateful for the contribution you have made. You've shaped and secured the future of St. Lucia. That can never be removed or diminished. Enjoy your well-deserved relaxation. As I close, and I'm closing, I wish to encourage you, the management, staff, and faculty of SALCC, that this interim board is committed to working, dialoguing, and partnering with you to make this college an employer of choice. To you, the students who are presently attending SALCC, rest assured that every effort is being put forward to ensure that you gain a quality education in a conducive and healthy environment. To you, the graduates, remember, no one can define your destiny or validate who you are or who you become, but you. Regardless of all the negatives around you, look to be a part of what is positive. For a very long time, since I was a very young woman, in my 20s at the Ministry of Education, I have served and supported the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College in one way or another throughout my working life, and I will continue to do so in any capacity, in or out. So as you leave, remember your alma mater and give back. Every little bit makes a difference. Go slay your giants, climb the summits, conquer the obstacles, stay focused on your vision, persevere. Nothing and no one can stop you from realizing your dreams. But you, I did it when all the odds were against me. God's got your back. Go forward in power. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fletcher, for this report. Words of encouragement to the graduates in recognizing our students and faculty for their achievements. I would now like to invite Mr. Kendall Kodra, Acting Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations, and Sustainable Development, to offer some remarks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And please permit me to adopt the protocol that has already been established. Firstly, I wish to convey the apologies of the Minister of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations, and Sustainable Development for absence from today's proceedings. Honorable Dr. Gail T.C. Rigobert is currently out of state on official business. Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you all a pleasant good morning. Today marks a significant milestone in the lives of many gathered here. It may be said that it indeed marks a significant milestone for the administration and faculty of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, who, under less than ideal situations, pressed on to ensure that the graduates seated here today were afforded the opportunity to flourish with their varied courses of study. On behalf of the Department of Education, Innovation, and Gender Relations, and certainly the Minister of Education, I wish to commend the administration, faculty, and other supporting staff of the college for your patience and persistence, in tending to the needs of the young persons gathered here today under the most trying circumstances. On behalf of Dr. Rigobert, I assure you that the Department of Education and the government of St. Lucia by extension continues to work towards providing some relief to the dire situation that this institution faces. Today also marks a milestone for the parents, the guardians, and other friends and family members who have gathered here. Those who have labored to provide the necessary resources to ensure the success of today's graduating class. We commend you for your diligence and continued support, as every investment in educating our youth is indeed an investment in the strengthening of our nation. Lastly, and by no means least, and in fact, more importantly, today marks a significant milestone for you graduates. I have no doubt that the rigors of your varied programs of study were further tested by the environmental challenges you faced during your stint at this institution. What is remarkable and certainly commendable is your determination to flourish against these odds and ensure the successful completion of your program of study. Against the many odds, you all pressed on. I implore you to maintain this sense of determination as you move forward in life. Challenges are inevitable, but never permit them to become shackles, weighing you down and drawing you away from your dreams. Rather, use these challenges as keys to unlock doors to creative and innovative solutions and even greater success. I would like you to remember that many of the successful men and women out there went through unimaginable challenges, but sought through it all to become who they are today. We live in an era of very trying times. As a small island developing state, the negative effects of climate change are quite pervasive within the local, regional, and global environs. Even more alarming are the extensive costs associated with addressing the negative impacts of climate change within our local context. It is on that basis I wish to recognize the efforts of our guest speaker here today, Mr. Joannan Dujon, who has applied the knowledge gained through his studies to develop a creative strategy to mitigate the harmful presence and effects of the Sargasso seaweed along our coastline. This level of innovation and creative mindset displayed by Mr. Dujon speaks directly to the overarching vision of the Ministry of Education, Innovation, Gender Relations, and Sustainable Development, which is to foster the development of a literate, informed, creative, and productive society. We reaffirm our commitment to optimizing and sustaining economic development and quality of life by creating functional citizens who are accepting of civic responsibility to compete in this global environment. Just as Mr. Dujon has accepted his civic responsibility and has empowered the island to compete on the global stage in the fight against the Sargasso seaweed, I employ all our graduates here today and also our wider society, by extension, to adopt this mindset. Identify socio-economic issues plaguing your communities or environs, tap into your creative outlets, and develop sustainable solutions for these problems. Graduates, you have the potential. You can. You are tomorrow's leaders. Such mentality is one of the keys to realizing our growth potential as a nation, and our ability to effectively compete on a world stage. It is on that basis the Department of Education seeks to enhance the national curriculum, such that it actively encourages our students and wider society to become critical thinkers, problem solvers, and innovators. Consistent with this strategic vision, the government of St. Lucia, through the Department of Education, in partnership with the Caribbean Development Bank, recently launched in October this year the Education Quality Improvement Project, or in short, EQUIP, which seeks to comprehensively improve the teaching and learning process through multiple dimensions, including curriculum and legislative review. This EQUIP project also focuses on enhancing the instructional effectiveness of educators, as well as the leadership and accountability of school administrators at all levels of our education sector. in-service professional development programs, as well as degree-level training in key areas of need at this time will be offered to educators across St. Lucia, including the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. I wish to add that the EQUIP project centers heavily on putting mechanisms in place that effectively speak to the needs of special education students at all levels again within the sector. This undertaking is very much in tandem with in keeping with the college's core value of fostering an atmosphere of respect for diversity. Enhancing the physical learning environment is a highly significant component of the EQUIP. Given the pervasive infrastructural issues, many of our schools and other public sector facilities continue to battle as a result of climate change. The prevalent cases of mold infestation, termite infestation, and air quality issues are not unique to St. Lucia. These are dilemmas that governments across the region continue to battle. As a project school under the EQUIP, funding will be provided to address infrastructural issues that the college faces. Of course, the contributions to the rehabilitation and advancement of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College under the EQUIP project may be perceived as a mere drop in the bucket when one considers the full spectrum of the infrastructural rehabilitation and institutional strengthening needs of the college. Nevertheless, I wish to reiterate the firm commitment of the Department of Education and by extension the government of St. Lucia to improving access to and improving the quality of education offered within our premier tertiary institution. As I close, I wish to leave a few words with the graduating class. Do not be defined by society's standards, nor be defined by the challenges you will inevitably face along the way. Rather, be defined by your own innate abilities, your aspirations, and work assiduously towards that. Always remember that nothing great is accomplished by cowering to challenges, but by confronting those seemingly insurmountable challenges head-on with resolute determination, commitment, and resolve. I encourage you to always bear in mind that the development of our education sector and the nation by extension does not rest with the Department of Education or just the government of St. Lucia. It rests with all of us gathered here today and the wider society. It is imperative, therefore, that as you pursue your personal development, you actively consider areas where your skills can be applied to foster national development. It is through this much-needed spirit of volunteerism, community involvement, and national pride that the strength and competitiveness of this nation will shine through. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Gail T.C. Rigobert, and the staff of the Department of Education, I congratulate you on the successful achievement of this milestone and wish you all the best. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kodra, for your words of encouragement and for recognizing the efforts of the students, the resilience of the students under the trying circumstances that we have faced over the last couple of years. We note your concern. We now move on to our guest speaker. Our guest speaker today is youthful and entrepreneurial. At just 25 years old, he has the title of Chief Executive Officer, CEO. He is probably one of the youngest to grace this stage as guest speaker. A graduate of St. Mary's College, he attended the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College between 2010 and 2012, studying business, Spanish, and literature. In 2014, he founded Allgas Organics with the aim of developing a solution to the persistent sargassum seaweed influxes affecting St. Lucia, the wider Caribbean, and West Africa. He successfully built the concept into the Caribbean's first indigenous biotechnology company, specializing in the formulation and production of all natural or agricultural inputs geared at increasing crop yields and climate resilience. He also successfully developed the Total Plant Tonic, Allgas Organics' flagship product, which is presently sold in 3 countries. The company also produces biopesticides, fungicides, and stimulants. Our guest speaker is the recipient of several awards, especially in the last 2 years. In 2017, he was awarded Young Entrepreneur of the Year by the Chamber of Commerce, Caribbean Beat's Top 25 Achiever of Under 25s, and the OECS Commission's Top 30 Entrepreneurs Under 30. He also received the Smithsonian Institute Earth Optimism Award. In 2018, he was the recipient of the prestigious Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Innovation, and capping it all, he received the award of Youth Leader of the Americas 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, an esteemed alumnus of this institution, proudly say, and CEO of Allgas Organics, please help me welcome our guest speaker for our 2018 graduation exercise, Mr. Johanan Dujo.
Allow me to adopt the protocol that has been established. Thank you for that introduction. Good morning. It is my distinct pleasure and honor to address the 2018 graduating class of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College this morning. Only 6 years ago, I sat where you now sit, and I'm sure I felt what you now feel. A mixture of joy that, boy, this is finally over, and uncertainty as to what's next for you. And the latter, I'm sure, is only exacerbated by the high levels of youth unemployment, uncertainty as to what you want to study at university when you do go to further your studies, and confusion as to which careers you wish to pursue. I assure you that these feelings are normal. What I will share with you today, I wish someone told me when I was in your position. Firstly, as you've heard maybe before, you are at a critical juncture in your life. The decisions you take now, whether you pursue your goals or fet every Saturday, will impact the rest of your life and are not to be taken lightly. If you want to live a life of fulfillment and success, you have a task of paramount importance on your hands, and that task is to find your calling. What did God put you on earth to do, to change, to invent, to build? Often you will first find what is not your calling, and that's equally important, as it serves as the guardrail from what to avoid, and simultaneously as the compass pointing you in the direction that you ought to be traveling. I remember graduating from the college and commencing my job hunt in May 2012. And by the time August hit, I was still unemployed, frustrated, when my father recommended perhaps you should try teaching. I had previously said that I would never become a teacher because I did not want to receive the karma of all of the stress I had given to my previous teachers. Nonetheless, I put in the application and landed a job at the Millet Primary School as a physical education teacher, of all things. From day one on the job, however, I knew that I did not want to do this for the rest of my life and started planning my escape. I remember spending every break and lunchtime in the computer lab writing down business ideas in what I would call my dream book. So many ideas were born in that computer lab, and ultimately they led me to where I am today. On your journey, I would urge you to do the same. Don't let the comfort of a salary keep you chained to doing something that you're not passionate about. You only have one life. You only have one life, and you ought to spend it doing something you love. Otherwise, you end up miserable, old, and full of regret. On that note, there's a trap I would like you to avoid, and that trap is the temptation to fit into the ready-made molds that you see around you. And allow me to elaborate. Doctor, teacher, lawyer, public servant, these careers are, don't get me wrong, absolutely necessary and critical to society. But are they the right ones for you as an individual? Or are you doing it just because? Too often we limit ourselves by conforming to societal norms, which lead us to succeed at things which are not our calling, never realizing our full potential. I'll give you an example. I did enjoy teaching. I loved my students, and my students loved me. They thought I was the most fun PE teacher on earth. I was great at something that wasn't my calling, and that's something I could have been doing today, never starting Algas Organics. If you find yourself struggling to wake up for a job, a course, or any undertaking consistently, it's not the one for you. Secondly, you may ask yourself, well, how do I know that I've found my calling? The telltale sign is that you wake up with enthusiasm each day, and no matter what happens, you find the energy and optimism to try again and keep going. I dreaded waking up in the morning when I was teaching. That's a secret confession. It's no longer secret. I literally had to force myself some days. But when I started my company, even if I had to work 10 times as hard, I would leap out of bed. Find something that makes you leap out of bed on a morning. Thirdly, there's another trap I'd like you to avoid, and this is the most pervasive one. The trap of, I can only be what I studied for. So you studied predominantly science, but you notice you have a love for law. You may figure that somehow you are confined to the sciences for the rest of your life. That is a trap, and that is totally incorrect. I am here to tell you today that your potential and your career are not limited merely to the subjects that you have studied, but rather you can be anything that you are dedicated or committed to becoming. I'll say this again. You can be anything that you are dedicated or committed to becoming. And I'm living proof of this. I started the Caribbean's first biotechnology company with no formal degree in science, apart from CXC biology that I earned at St. Mary's College. Now, that means two things. I'm either very determined or I had some very good teachers. I think it's both. But in the words of John Locke, a 17th century philosopher and physician, and I quote, "The business of education is not to make the young perfect in any one of the sciences, but to open their minds, making them capable of anything when they apply themselves to it." It doesn't matter about mastering everything. Open your mind, understand what happens when you apply yourself to it, and education would have achieved its objective. Today, we hire the best scientists across the Caribbean and North America, and our products outperform billion-dollar companies which spend way more money than we have on research and development. Today, our company is recognized as the best startup in Latin America and the Caribbean, winning both regional and international awards. One would have thought that it was someone with a degree in biochemistry who would have started Algas Organics. But to reinforce my previous point, it was instead someone who had a dedication and commitment to learning, who was captivated by curiosity, and who had a strong desire to solve a problem. And this brings me to my fourth point. You are all brilliant in your own way and are capable, more than capable, of changing the world. However, our education system is designed, from my observation, which may be flawed, but my observation, to reward regurgitators and not thinkers. Now, allow me to elaborate. People go out to study the sciences, microbiology, biochemistry, and return to be lab technicians. There's nothing wrong with being a lab technician. But you have clearly an aptitude for the sciences. Take that knowledge you have acquired, create something. Take on the task of finding the cure for cancer or something. Fulfill your God-given potential. Your potential is not being fulfilled in a job like that. You can do it on the side. Maximize your potential because you have the aptitude. You study business. If you can't find a job upon graduating, which is a possibility that we must be aware of, you studied business. There's nothing in your community you can create a solution to and make money. I'm sure there is. And that's my challenge to you. You see, I'm here to tell you one more thing, that the student who graduates with an A is no more talented than the one who graduates with a B, C, or D. But there's a condition to that. And the condition is, that's not an okay to get a B, C, or D, guys. No. The condition to that is the student who graduates with the B, C, or the D who has the drive and determination to succeed. What happens is that the A student has shown proficiency in the classroom. But guess what? Life is not lived in a classroom. The classroom is merely a simulation. And for the agriculture graduates here, it is merely a greenhouse, if you will, which is isolated from the great deal of exogenous factors which exist in the outside world. Life is an open field. You know open field agriculture, guys? And it is your ability to adapt, to change, to innovate, to learn from failure, your drive to go after what you want, and most importantly, your belief in yourself and God, which will determine whether you change the world or not. Don't believe or give in to self-doubt. The next thing is that success is subjective. Not everyone's calling is to be a millionaire or an entrepreneur. Your calling may be teaching, nursing, social work, accounting, or something nobody has thought of as yet. But you have a duty nonetheless. And that duty is to be an agent of change. No job, field, or workplace you enter should be the same. None. You will recognize weaknesses, areas for improvement, problems to be solved. Do not shy away from them, and particularly when you feel strongly about them. If you ever feel, man, why is nobody doing something about X, Y, Z? And it keeps getting under your skin, guess what? Solve it. Solve it. Why? Because it won't be the government to solve it. It won't be your neighbor, your brother, your cousin. The reason it's bothering you so much, that is God speaking to you, that is the task that you should be undertaking. And again, you will face opposition, roadblocks. I'm happy some of the things which have happened to unsettle you during your educational journey have happened, because that is a little bit more of a realistic simulation of what happens out in the real world. It's not a bed of roses. But nonetheless, if you continue to persevere, at the end of it, you will have great success. And again, success is the feeling of accomplishment that you feel when executing your calling. You do it when no one is watching. You do it without praise. It gratifies you. And hopefully it makes you a ton of money. The worst existence you can have on this earth is to spend your life doing things just because. Question why you are in the field you're in, why you chose the subjects that you have chosen. Understand your why, and I assure you, the how, what, when, and who will come. In conclusion, I would love to leave you this blessing from Ephesians chapter 1, verse 18. I ask that the eyes of your understanding be enlightened, that you may know what is the hope of his calling. I urge you to go forth and impact the world. Thank you.
I know you have been inspired. If you have been inspired by this young entrepreneur, go ahead and show it. So you will understand when I say to you that this young maverick, duty calls for him, and I apologize on his behalf, but he has to leave us. He came in yesterday, has a meeting waiting, and he will not be able to stay for the rest of the ceremony, but we want to thank him so profusely. So Kentus Augustine, a graduate from the Department of Health Sciences, will present him with a small token of our appreciation for sharing the thoughts he did today that was so profound and so well received by our graduates and our parents and staff. After every line you were clapping. So thank you so much, Mr. Johannan Dujour, proud son of former lecturer, Mr. and Mrs. Dujour here in our audience. And we allow you to leave, sir. We will see you very soon again in the future. So well received, so inspired. And we continue on that trend of inspiration now with a musical rendition that I know will blow you away. 2 renditions. First, from the SALCC choir, comprised of students from various divisions, and they will be immediately followed by a solo by Jonette Joseph. The choir will perform Reach, and Jonette will perform I Believe in You. The SALCC choir.
Sing more, the higher much higher. You have chosen a restless road, no turning back. One day you will find your light again. Don't you know? Don't let go, be strong. Your heart, let your love lead through the darkness, back to the place you once knew. I believe, I believe, I believe in you. Follow your dreams, be yourself an angel of kindness. There's nothing that you cannot do. I believe, I believe, I believe. Tout ira, tout que ouvert l'univers poursuit ta quête sans regarder derrière notre pas que le jour s'élève. Suis ton étoile, va jusqu'où ton rêve te porte. Ajoute-les toucher roi. Si tu crois, si tu crois, si tu crois en toi, si la lumière n'est pas flamme que te porte. En fond de toi, souviens-toi que je crois, que je crois, que je crois en toi. Someday I'll find you. Someday you'll find me too. And when I hold you close, I know that it's true.
have to do better than that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, students of Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. These were powerful renditions, both in message and in the performance. And I think it was quite in keeping with the speaker, follow your heart. And let me just change that pronoun. We believe in you. The momentum keeps rising, ladies and gentlemen, keeps rising, because now we move to your moment, graduates, and we invite the registrar of the college to take over at this point as we present certificates and special awards to our graduates. The registrar will call on the deans and coordinators to present these awards. Let me inform our wider audience that we will have cameramen from our SALCC Media Club positioned at the steps to take photos that graduates you can purchase afterwards or you can get. Yes. So we ask that we don't have a crowding of photographers near the stage area. Thank you so much for your cooperation. Miss Beverly Josie, Registrar of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College.
Thank you, Natalie. While sitting and waiting for this moment, I realized this ceremony, there are quite a few firsts. Your Excellency, Sir Neville Snack and Lady Snack, thanks for coming. It is your first time here. Dame Paulette Louisi, thanks for coming. I think in the past you've only missed one. We thank you for being with us and for us. Welcome again. It is also the first time our chair is with us, Dr. Jocelyn Fletcher. It is also the first time a guest speaker has had to leave immediately after. So indeed, there are many firsts today. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and this is the moment that our graduates have been waiting for. Our final count, we had 666 persons who successfully completed their programs of study. As usual, a number of them are unable to be with us. We are happy that so many, however, have been able to be here today. We will begin our presentation of certificates and awards to graduates of the Division of Teacher Education and Educational Administration. Will the graduates of that division please come forward? And to make the presentation, I call on the Dean of the Division, Dr. Anthony Felicia.
I, Anthony Felician, Dean of the Division of Teacher Education and Educational Administration, hereby present the graduates of the division. I certify that the graduates have successfully completed the prescribed courses of study, passed all examinations, met all other program requirements, and are therefore eligible for the award of associate degrees and postgraduate diploma.
Thank you, Dr. Felicia. We begin with the postgraduate diploma in secondary education. Graduates of this program, in fact, have a first degree and in some instances a second degree. This certification is from the University of the West Indies. For the postgraduate diploma in secondary education, Pascalina English Stanislas. 10 students pursued that program, and I'm heartened to tell you that there were 8 distinctions. For the associate degree in secondary education, Monet Daniel. Monet Daniel receives a prize for the best overall achievement in the secondary teacher education program. Malisha David. Savina Yudovic. Sam Yudovic. Sam Yudovic receives awards. Sam Yudovic receives awards for practical teaching, professionalism, and for his contribution to college life. Narissa Felicier. Emily Timet. Gervais Smith. For the Technical Vocational Educational Program Associate Degree, Sanjay Antoine. Khadija Lewis. Khadija receives an award for practical teaching in the secondary teacher education, technical educational vocational training. Dania Matre. For the associate degree in primary education, Rena Antoine. Duan Augustine. Al Eugene. Suana Edward. Stacy Favrier. Stacy Favrier receives the prize for the best overall achievement in the primary teacher education program, an award for practical teaching, and she also receives the South Louis Community College Award for Excellence, which is given to the top student of each division, having performed with distinction. Ruth Grant. Sonasia James. Alina John. Diana John. Pernell Johnny Charles. Rhoda Mata. Janelle Melchor. Georgian Melius. Chanel Robinson. Anika Pascal. Najla Precious. Sherian Wentz. Nehemiah Wilfred. Thank you, Dr. Felicia. There are two graduates of the division who are not here with us but who received awards. Sanjeevi Popo receives the prize for the best overall achievement in the postgraduate diploma in education. Chantal Alcide Gordon receives an award for practical teaching in the secondary teacher education program. And Meshadi Lovens receives the prize for the best overall achievement in the secondary teacher education program. Thank you, teacher education. We move now to the Division of Agriculture. Will the graduates of that division please come forward? And the Dean, Mr. Anthony Bonaparte.
I, Anthony Bonaparte, Dean of the Division of Agriculture, hereby present the graduates of the division. I certify that the graduates have successfully completed the prescribed course of study, passed all examinations, and have met all other requirements, and are therefore eligible for the award of certificate and associate degrees.
Thank you, Mr. Bonaparte. For the associate degree in general agriculture, Zane Antoine. Sarah Félicien. Shamina Henry. Shelly Ann Joseph. Khadijah Stephen. Thank you, Mr. Bonaparte. Tyrick James of the Division of Agriculture receives the award for the highest overall achievement in the associate degree, and Bajita Ange receives the award for the highest overall achievement in the certificate in general agriculture. We continue our presentation to graduates of the Department of Health Sciences. Will the graduates please come forward? And the coordinator, Dr. Priska Regis Andrew.
I, Priska Regis Andrew, coordinator of the Department of Health Sciences, hereby present the graduates of the department. I certify that the graduates have successfully completed the prescribed course of study, passed all examinations, met all other program requirements, and are therefore eligible for the award of associate degree.
Thank you, Dr. Regis Andrew. For the associate degree in general nursing, Ria Albertini. Noelina Alexander. Salian Altidore. Yana Antoine. Alicia Breen. Kentus Augustine. Kentus Augustine receives the Susanna Jolie Award for exemplary student in the general nursing program. Krista Calix. Cheryl Snack. Donna Christopher Joseph. Donna receives an award for her contribution to college life. Kimberly DeMille. Curleen Deligny Dalfinis. Curleen receives an award for the best clinical performance in the Southern region and for her perseverance in the general nursing program. Yannick Duncan. Yannick receives an award for her contribution to college life. Jana Fergis. Johan Favrier. Kezia Gittens. Martina Inglis. Martina receives an award for the best clinical performance in the Northern region in the general nursing program. Leander Harris. Rochelle Jaffassois. Angela James. Janelle Joseph Frederick. Shaniqua King. Ketavia Montoot. Malisha Placid. Celeste Poliodor. Talia St. Rose. Talia St. Rose receives an award for professionalism in the general nursing program. Vanel Theophilus. Thank you, Dr. Regis Andrew. Graduates of the department who are not here with us and who received awards. Hannah Regis receives the award for the highest overall achievement, academic achievement in the general nursing program. Davika Alexander receives the award for the highest overall achievement in the midwifery program. Marivon Charles receives an award for the best clinical performance in the southern region in the midwifery program. Emma Herman receives an award for the best clinical performance in the northern region in the midwifery program. Thank you, Department of Health Sciences. I now call on the graduates of the Division of Arts, Science, and General Studies and the acting dean, Ms. Lindy Ann Alexander, to please come forward.
I, Lindy Ann Alexander, Dean of the Division of Arts, Science, and General Studies, hereby present the graduates of the division. I certify that the graduates have successfully completed the prescribed course of study, passed all examinations, met all other program requirements, and are therefore eligible for the award of advanced certificates.
Thank you, Ms. Alexander. Clefani Acti. Ernel Amab. Maya Albertine. Kirtlin Alcindor. Kiana Obat. Michelin Anius. Michelin receives the prize for tourism. Danielle Augustin. Luther Ogis. Luther receives the prize for geography. Trisha Augustin. Christia Bernard. Tiana Boyce. Ashna Bino. Ashna receives special awards for accounting and entrepreneurship. Malise Carrasco. Luthani Constantine. Kevon Clark. Faith Cyril. Omar Combi. Omar receives the prize for digital media. Kashama Shamot. Kashama receives the prize for management of business. Andre Daniels. Erin David. Erin receives the prize for environmental science. Liam Dujon. Liam receives a special award for biology. Charis Duplessis. Jasmine Duncan. Ms. Duncan receives the prize for law. Jessica DeMille. Sherwin Edward. Rochelle Emmanuel. Kevon Esnard. Jemiah Everest. Chelsea Frederick. Kwame Frederick. Genevieve Gonzaga. Jazz Gis. Juliana Hamilton. Jan Hennikat. Kayla Hippolyte. Joshua Hinkson. Kwesi Hobson. Jamie Husbands. Mariah James. Rehan Jha. Mr. Jha receives the prize for entrepreneurship. Kirsten Mosheri. Javin Octave. Kyla Odlum. Tisha Paul. Isabel Jabatis. Alicia Jean-Philippe. Judith Joseph. Donej Dojef. Rohan Lewis. Levi Leos. Karima Lewis. Zarek Philip. Smithia Peter. Kayla Philip. Shamika Philip. Kwame Joseph. Whitney Joseph. Whitney receives the prize for history and a special award for law. Essie Valsen. Yashakade Jha. Patrice Lamy. Patrice receives the prize for sociology. Kathleen Gill. Kadisha Leo. Cheyenne John. Kirthany King. Keyshawn King. Shania Lubra. Sharissa Marcel. PJ Matre. Yuselta Matre, Stacy Maida, Jesse Mayers, Naquane Rock, Dara Sidwan, Aldan Santoma, Naomi Santremi, Kimberly Sagis, Deborah Senpri, Aquila Smith, Dequan Vite, Kimani Thomas, Benella Tusa, Crichton Stanislas, Liam Senpri, Mia Raju. Thank you, Ms. Alexander. Graduates of the division who received awards and are not with us. Daniel Corter receives the prizes for Caribbean Studies, French, Spanish, and Economics, and the NIPRO Award for Highest Academic Achievement. Vern Cox receives an award for academic excellence. Charisse Dashville receives a special award for Spanish. Jad Goodman receives a special award for management of business. Tracy Moyston receives a prize for biology and an award for academic excellence. Rezul Nahari receives the prize for communication studies and an award for academic excellence. Karima Nicholas receives prizes for accounting and applied mathematics. Dion Rekai receives prizes for chemistry, pure mathematics, and physics. She receives the prize for the Bank of St. Lucia Award for Highest Academic Achievement and the South Louis Community College Award for Excellence. The graduates from South Campus, also known as Southern Extension Center, Dr. Dilsuk, the coordinator, please come forward.
I, Cleofa Dilsuk, Assistant Coordinator of the South Campus, hereby present the graduates of the South Campus and the Department of the Continuing Education at the Morn Campus. I certify that the graduates have successfully completed the prescribed course of study, passed all examinations, met all other program requirements, and are therefore eligible for the award of associate degrees and certificates.
Thank you, Dr. Dilsuk. From the Department of Continuing Education, Mon Campus, an associate degree in criminal justice, Julietta Norley. We now go to the South Campus. For the associate degree in applied arts business administration, Amanda Adler. Amanda also receives the prize for the Applied Arts Business Administration Program and the South Louis Community College Award for Excellence. Jermaine Albert, Kiana Isidore, Ty Edgar, Jamila Wilson, Tiffany Pinnell, Tanisha Shallery, Shanola Samuel, Krishna Remis, Brittany Okuli, Miguel Daya, Danley Likas, Janae Japierre, for the Certificate in Business Study, Shamanda Gilbert, Etoile Joseph. Etoile Joseph receives the prize for the Business Studies Certificate Program. Graduates from the Division of Technical Education and Management Studies, please come forward. And I'd like to call on the Dean, Mr. Kurt Harris.
I, Kurt Harris, Dean of the Division of Technical Education and Management Studies, hereby present the graduates of the division. I certify that the graduates have successfully completed the prescribed course of study, passed all examinations, met all other program requirements, and are therefore eligible for the award of associate degree and certificates.
Thank you, Dean. The Division of Technical Education and Management Studies has 5 departments. We will begin our presentation to graduates from the Department of Building Studies. For the Associate Degree in Architectural Technology, Faith Alcindor. Sophie Klein. Sophie Klein receives the prize for the Associate Degree in Architectural Technology. Melania Matre. Sancha Jabatis. Mikej Joseph. For the Associate Degree in Construction Engineering, Daniel Antoine. Daniel receives the prize for the Associate Degree in Construction Engineering. Tyler Daniel. Simeon Joseph. Jermaine Lynch. Bijan Cecile. Tivani Neptune. For the Associate Degree in Quantity Surveying, Christian Tranquil. Cleisha Alfred. Cleisha Alfred receives the prize for the Associate Degree in Quantity Surveying. Kellyanne Charles. Crystal Amab. The Department of Business and Secretarial Studies for the Associate Degree in Applied Arts Business Administration, Kitana Albert. Jade Alexander. Samuel Alexander. Crystal Antoine. Silva Augustine. Brendel Benjamin. Kadima Bernard. Tori Kadeh. Kareem Cadet. Vernon Bernard, Chloe Charlemagne, Abigail Christopher, Annalisa Clovis, Latoya Dini Mangal, Edwina de Turville, Sammy Edmond, Siobhan Elite, Ainsley Edward, Talitha Ferdinand, Tawin Francis, Casey Faswa, Kezia Faswa, Carissa Francois, Junie George, Lilia Gulaman, Amaya Greaves, Krista Gustav, Krishna Henry, Laurie Hutchinson, Brittany James, Yana James, Kizel Jabatis, Trisha Jabatis, Tonya Lisa Japierre, Casey Joseph, Chrissy Joseph, Kazan Joseph, Tomisha Kodra, Nadej McLaura, Denitha Louis, Nyrek Joseph, Michelle Lafrouf, Zakia Leo, Alanis Leone, Macy Maximin, Crystal Moses, Camilla Monrock, Dylan Natrum, Darcel Polius, Christella Myers, Anita Paul, Laura Phillip, Lashanda Preville, Shania Quinlan. Ms. Quinlan receives the prize for the Associate Degree in Applied Arts Business Administration and the South Louis Community College Award for Excellence. This award, as I said earlier, is given to the top student in each division. I did not tell you that they each get $1,000. Nikisha Rosemain, Jamela Sandy, Davia Reynolds, Diane Sigobin, Tyler Sukwa, Martha Roseman, Ganel Solomon, Kayla Sensiu, Yanis St. Luce, Omel Terence. Toniva Thomas. Vicky Vodrock. Shanice Vitalis. Anton Wilson. Jamela Xavier. For the Associate Degree in Applied Arts Office Administration, Tiffany Annaville. Chanel Charles. Fabia Francis. Trisha Joseph. Trisha Joseph receives the prize for the Associate Degree in Applied Arts Office Administration and the award for the highest overall achievement in that program. Chelsea Knight. Susanna Leon. Kishma Lewis. Karima Napoleon. Rebecca Phillip. Kurt Theodore. Alicia Wells. The Department of Electrical and Electronic Studies for the Associate Degree in Computer Systems Engineering, Cameron Jordan Eugene. Alexander Griffith. Alec Jabatis. Marissa Henry. Desiree Jabatis. Giovanni Moncheri. Ishmael Nelson. Uriah Nicholas. Kenyatta Paul. Zidane Philip. Tonis Theophilus. Brandon Volney. For the Associate Degree in Electronics Engineering, Terrell Félicien. Josiah Gabriel. For the Certificate in Electrical Installation, Carson Busset. Mr. Busset also receives the prize for their Certificate in Electrical Installation and the award for the highest overall achievement in the certificate programs. The Department of Hospitality Studies for the Associate Degree in Food and Beverage Operations, Cassie Alfred. Keyshawn Bissett. Jamie Byron. Hannah Dovey. Chantel Dekai. Kashama Dujon. Shamika Everest. Katie Favrier. Katie receives the prize for the Associate Degree in Food and Beverage Operations. Mindali Fitz. CJ Joseph. Jocelyn Louis. Shania Nelson. Lorena Nicholas. Credelcia Paul. Ernest Smith. Naisha Setaj. For the Associate Degree in Hospitality Studies, Kahisha Alexander, Lisa Brathwaite, Fenella Charles, Gibson Clark, Cleona Francis, Jean-Pierre Frederick, Toyana Gilbert, Andra James, Craigan John, Dalkeith Joseph, Joanna Joseph, Precious Pearl Justin, Janella McFarlane, for the Associate Degree in Travel and Tourism, Itania Edmond, Tisma Etienne, Imani Gaspar. Imani Gaspar receives the prize for the Associate Degree in Travel and Tourism, as well as the highest overall achievement in the Department of Hospitality Studies. Denina Henry, Criselda Justin, Adia Novell, Toria Poyot, Andre Raymond, Shania Samuel, Akim Jacob receives the award, the Associate Degree in Automotive Engineering. We have moved now to the Department of Mechanical Studies. For the Associate Degree in Mechanical Engineering, Tarek Daniel. Juan Jose Matre. Joshua Muroy. Kohan Samuel. Kohan Samuel receives the prize for the Associate Degree in Mechanical Engineering. For the Certificate in Motor Vehicle Mechanics, Mackay Arudel. Shane St. Clair. Jade Suraj. Jade Suraj receives the prize for the Certificate in Motor Vehicle Mechanics. For the Certificate in Refrigeration and Air Conditioning, Gavi Gustav. Thank you, Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, a rousing round of applause, class of 2018.
I think this is an opportunity for all of you to stand and for the rest of us to celebrate your achievement. Congratulations, class of 2018. You are now officially graduates of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College. Thank you very much. You may take your seats. Like I said, the momentum keeps rising. So your canisters are your keepsakes for your certificates. So please don't drop them anywhere. Keep them safe and keep your certificates in them so you always know where to find them. Very nice. Now we want to hear from you. We've heard from officials, we've heard from our own SALCC representative, and now it is your time. And your representative is a graduate of the Division of Teacher Education and Educational Administration. Graduating with an associate degree in secondary education, to be more specific. Let me just explain a little bit to our audience that each division will choose a representative for valedictorian, and then after we get the pool, then the selection is made from their submissions. So emerging as valedictorian, ladies and gentlemen, Sam Udovic.
Thank you. Testing 1 2 1 2. Mic is good. Mic is good. My guests are here. You all look smart. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2 3 4 5. Thank you. Wow, essa questa nous finit avec ça. C'était là pour finir avec ça. Wow, est-ce que ça nous finit avec ça? C'était là pour finir avec ça. Pour finir avec ça. Pour finir avec ça. Wondering what life we'd begun. There was more to see than can never be seen, more work to do than can never be done. And some of us fell by the wayside, but some of us soared to the stars. And some people sailed through the troubles and pain, and some had to leave with the scar. But thank God we survived, and we proved them wrong. We have all embraced each challenge when it's come. You can clap now, yes. And I only sing this amazing when my bathroom, when I'm, TMI, okay. Sorry about that, YOLO. Please allow me to adopt the protocol that has already been established. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow graduates, wow, I can hardly believe it. Look how religious all of you look. No one would ever imagine that these were the same persons turning it up at Verve last week. Can you imagine that I spent the last 2 years with good bits of you, And today, I can hardly recognize your faces. On that note, let's thank God for makeup. Yep. No shade. No shade. Alfred Lord Tennyson ended his poem, Ulysses, with the line, to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Indeed, we have all done just that, for we are the graduating class of 2018. Listen, I know you want to look all diplomatic and let your parents believe that for the last 2 years you were the angels. But please, I said, we are the graduating class of 2018. Make some noise for me. Right. Yes, that's better. It is indeed the greatest honor for you to be listening to me today. No, but seriously, no words can express the joy that I feel for the opportunity given to me to deliver this valedictory address. Writing this speech had been very challenging for me, as I found myself responsible for capturing all the unique experiences of over 100, 200, 300 graduates, and expectations of even more parents, guardians, and significant others. Single to mingle. With so much on my shoulders, all dressed like a nun, I have decided to just speak from my heart and hope that my heart touches yours. Graduation is one of those awkward times in our lives when we are torn between the joy of our memories and the excitement of our future. Should we look back on what were the greatest 2 years of our lives? Or instead, or three, sorry, nurses. Or instead, should we focus on the next stage in this journey called life? We've been impatiently waiting for this day for years. And now, we just want to hit pause and resume. We want to slow it down and enjoy the last fleeting moments. More than just our certificates and degrees, today marks the end of those sleepless nights just to be able to beat the assignment deadlines. Today marks the end of coffee overloads just to stay awake to study. Today marks the end of the Google, copy, paste, reference, print. Or maybe not. Paraphrase too. Whatever you are determined to end, we end it today as we leave the past behind, bringing the memory of our college life and the many lessons brought about by our college education and its many challenges. Yes, challenges. A situation of being faced with something that needs great mental or physical effort in order to be done successfully, and therefore tests a person's ability, endurance, and for the teachers, tolerance. See, when we entered the loving confines of our beloved Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, and for some of you, Goodlands Extension, as an unwritten book, eager to fill in the pages some 2-3 years ago, we unofficially said, challenge accepted, not really knowing what was to come. But we just could not have given up. You've come too far. And nobody told us. Nobody told us Yes. But we don't believe that he brought us this far. Thank you, choir. Challenges, as we know, are a part of everyday life. They make us stronger. Without them, life becomes somewhat meaningless, and we don't have anything to compare the good times to. These challenges come in many forms. For us at the prestigious Goodlands Extension, the challenge was survival in an environment hors de normal. For we, the earthlings of Goodlands, were to cross bridges, walk miles in the scorching sun while being tracked by unfamiliar faces, roam the school like nomads looking for strong Wi-Fi points, and ultimately thrive in this cultural desert. It was our own Sir Arthur Lewis who said that a society without the arts is a cultural desert. For some others, the challenge was staying awake during back-to-back lectures, negotiating with the administration from repro, sourcing quality food, avoiding constant fracas with the security personnel, coexisting with nature as some were greeted by bird droppings and falling ants under the flamboyant tree. And for many others, the challenge would have been getting to grips with financial worries. It really was not an easy road. How many cities come and they get us so they think I better roads. We say, who feels it knows? Let's not get carried away. And with all what's said and done, we present ourselves as victors today, who tirelessly travailed the roads of SALCC. And now we are at the calm to witness this beautiful rainbow. Because to get to the rainbow, we must have gone through the rain. But I ask you, was it worth it? Did we have to endure the never-ending exams, campus protests, the nerve-wracking teaching practice, classrooms of wooden floors, rocky chairs covered with termite dusts, and crying roofs, just to be rewarded with a certificate, degree, or diploma, whose cost of just framing is more than what you will earn in the next 6 months? It's tough out there, so be patient. Not many persons hiring these days. But really, was it worth it? Allow me to answer on your behalf with this. I am who I am because of everything that has happened, and not in spite of it. I do not doubt Kelly Clarkson when she said,
"What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes a fighter."
Of course, today I'm very diplomatic. Graduates, in fact, you best believe that no matter what your challenges are, they will make you a stronger person if you let them. For most of us, when life seems to take a twist and our daily lives seems to be more difficult than normal, we just want to move on and get on with it. Let us now consider the one recent adversity or challenge that our nation, the Caribbean, and the Americas at large was faced with, and how it has built us as a nation. The death of a son of the soil, Mr. Botham Shemja. Through his tragic loss emerged a united St. Lucia, black and white, flambeau éclairé, rich and poor, all standing together in solidarity showing immense support and love to his family. The nursing division faced the challenge of dealing with the loss of Nurse Fanis, and out of this, birthed a united Goodlands Extension family. Nurse Jolie, I was corrected. The Division of Arts, Sciences, and General Studies was no stranger to this type of challenge, as they too dealt with the loss of Mr. Brandon St. Omer and DTEM's Mr. Bradley Cyril. May their souls rest peacefully. The late Derek Walcott wrote, "Out of the turmoil emerges one emblem. And thus, out of the trials and challenges of our college education at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College emerge conquerors in the courts of qualified teachers, certified nurses, extension officers to the Ministry of Agriculture, scholars, and highly skilled entrepreneurs. We survived. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna work harder. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. I will survive. Indeed, the hell that I went through was necessary. The troubles, tests, and trials that we all experience were only requirements for our fashionable success today. So, as our school's anthem says, yes, we have a school anthem. It says, "Let nothing you detain. Remember that our motto is pursuit of excellence." The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Martin Luther King Jr. And so, I applaud you graduates, who despite the myriad of challenges were able to overcome. We have stood the test of time. We have held our heads high. To the Goodlands crew, we can beat our chests and proudly say like Christian Logan Savage Grace, we came, we saw, we conquered. Allow me now to make special mention of one unforgettable achievement that took social media by storm, receiving raving reviews. A little folktale. Big up to Monique Ogis, Lyric Dilemma, and Jesse Mayers, who produced, choreographed, and directed this theatrical production, along with the members of the SALCC drama troupe. I wonder who was the main character. T-Bab. Zafea Fett. All these magnificent achievements would not have been possible today without the help of our Supreme Creator, support from friends and family. Looking back on these years of great struggle and hard work, I must say that we have a lot to be grateful for. And so, we sincerely thank our Heavenly Father, who kept us and gave us the ability not only to finish, but to finish well. Somebody say, God is able. Just what he said he will do. Every promise to you. So don't give up on God. Don't give up on God, 'cause he won't give up on you. He's able. That's my song. Today, and all the days thereafter, we say a great thank you to our parents, guardians, and friends who sacrificed for us all to see us walk across this stage today with our heads held high. Merci beaucoup. Muchas gracias. We appreciate the school's administration for making this, our great alma mater, a good institution that shaped and nurtured us to be the great scholars that they can always be proud of. The Board of Governors, who ensured that this institution was governed smoothly, thank you. To the teachers, lecturers, and mentors that we have met throughout our education, you gave us a hard time. And you've made us work diligently for our degree. For everyone and every challenge that made this journey at SALCC a memorable one, we say a great thank you. To my fellow graduating class, in saying a very big congratulations to you, I remind you that the challenges have only now begun. Take with you Sir Arthur's wisdom that the fundamental cure for poverty is not money, but education. We all have passed through doors opened by the heroes of the past. So, let us not close the door behind us by hoarding whatever experience or knowledge we have accumulated these years. Let our successors pass through the doors we will open. Let us live meaningful, successful lives. The best is yet to come. At this moment, I now invite every single person present to stand. Exercise is indeed necessary. Place your right hand on your left breast and repeat after me. Success is never final. Failure is never fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. I can now happily say that my speech has touched everyone here today. Please be seated. Thank you. I am now supposed to say farewell to this institution, those who maintain it, and those who stand with me and behind me. But I hope that this farewell is more of a see you later, as we are all working together to rear a pedagogic movement. Challenge defeated. Thank you. So long, bye-bye.
Mr. DJ, if I knew, I would have asked you to cue for me. He did it his way. And I hope this valedictory speech represents your individuality, your creativity, your substance, because all of that came out in Sam's presentation today. And I say thank you, Sam, for speaking on behalf of your class. And although Sam did say some thank yous, we want to officially say thank you for making this ceremony happen to the various parties. And to do that, we invite Miss Amanda Adler, who is a graduate of the South Campus. Amanda, when we had two ceremonies, would have been the valedictorian for our second ceremony. So please congratulate and welcome Amanda Adler, who will do the vote of thanks.
Your Excellency, please allow me to adopt the protocol as established. Good afternoon, all. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my greatest privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on this special occasion. Your Excellency, Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, Acting Prime Minister, Mr. Guy Joseph, government officials, board of directors, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of this entire body, I would like to thank you for gracing us with your presence. It is indeed an honor. I quote, "Do something today that your future self will thank you for." And this is what we fellow graduates have done. We would not have pulled through without the help of each and every one of those individuals I am about to mention. Mom, dad, auntie, uncle, family or guardian who supported us along the way. We would like you to know that the greatest gift we ever received came from God, and that gift is you. You motivated us to become leaders, act better, and be a breath of positivity wherever we go. This gift goes beyond what words could express, but the most we can say and prove is that we love you. To our esteemed guest speaker, Mr. Johanan Dujon, for sharing his experiences with us and motivating us to be our best selves. He may not be here right now, but we say thank you. To our faculty and management team, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude in the form of a poem. God understood our thirst for knowledge and our need to be led by someone wiser. He needed a heart of compassion, of encouragement, and patience. Someone who would accept the challenges regardless of opposition. Someone who could see the potential and believe in the best in others. So he made teachers, and for that we are grateful. Once again, thank you, teachers, for the unbreakable bonds that we have formed on the basis of respect and love. Our ushers, our very talented choir, deans, coordinators, other managers of the various units, media club, administrative staff, and all other persons who assisted and contributed to the success of this ceremony. You did a great job. A special thank you to the decorating team for enhancing the ambience, to the groundsmen and custodial staff for the environmentally friendly atmosphere. We would like to express a heartwarming thank you. Thank you to all our sponsors for your generosity. Despite the harsh economic times, you made this event possible and a success. And to you, my fellow graduates of 2018, thank you for going along this journey together, for being a shoulder to lean on and a companion to laugh with. We have completed yet another critical phase of our life, and we should be very thankful. Your Excellencies, Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, Acting Prime Minister Mr. Guy Joseph, ladies and gentlemen, graduates, once again, I want to state that we are almost grateful for everyone's attendance at this special event. We thank you for your presence. It has been my pleasure to execute this role. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Adler, for delivering the vote of thanks. And to complete our thank you, we'd like to make a small presentation, and we invite Ms. Emily Timet of the Division of Teacher Education to make a presentation to Ladies Snack. A token of our appreciation for your presence here today. Thank you very much, Emily. Guess what? we have come to the end of our proceedings. And we will close it. I know Sam informed you that we have an anthem. So we will sing the school anthem before we leave. So I ask everyone to rise to their feet. Our choir will lead us. And with gusto and pride, we shall sing our school anthem, our college anthem, Pursuit of Excellence. At the back of your program, you can find the words.
Aim high, my fellow men, you of SLCC. Let's build a name that will always last and always honor be. Let's make a pledge to ever keep in sacred reverence our motto constant and a bright pursuit of excellence. March on, my fellow men, let nothing you detain. Follow the path our graduates trod, from tardiness refrain. Turn north from diligence and truth, gain knowledge, eloquence. Remember that our motto is pursuit of excellence. Sing out, my fellow men, with sweetness fill the air. SALCC, your mourn for truth, let all our hearts revere. The education of the best, your armor and defense. Our motto constant and upright, pursuit of excellence.
Thank you very much for coming. We will have our exit now, and we will allow the procession. We will allow our Grand Marshal to take the mace to lead you out. This is our newly designed mace. It's the second time that we are carrying it, officially designed by members of the Division of Technical Education and Management Studies. Dr. Kathy Depredin is our mace bearer this year. Music. Can we have the music for the procession, please?
I am a mountain, I am a tall tree, oh, I am a swift wind, sweeping the country. I am a river, down in the valley, oh, I am a vision, and I can see clearly. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest, and I'm that little bit of hope. When my back's up against the ropes, I can feel it, I'm the world's greatest. am an eagle, oh, I am a lion down in the jungle. I am a marching band, I am the people, oh, I am a helping hand, I am a hero. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest, and I'm that little bit of hope. When my back's up against the ropes, I can feel it, I'm the world's greatest. In the ring of life, I'll reign love, I will reign, and the world will know a king. Oh yeah, yeah. Shine a light, and there's a success within me. That I made it. I'm the world's greatest. I'm that little bit. I'm that little bit. Oh yeah. I can feel it, feel it. I'm the world's greatest. Whoa. I'm that star up in the sky. Oh yes I am. I done made it. I'm the world's greatest. And I'm that little bit of hope. When my back's against the wall, I can feel the world's greatest. I saw the light and that sun up in the end of a tunnel. Even the prodigal at the end of the rainbow. And fate was right there. Ooh yeah, it used to be locked door. Now I can just walk through. It's the greatest. Can you feel it? I am a mountain, I am a tall tree, oh, I am a swift wind, sweeping the country. I am a river, down in the valley, oh, I am a vision, and I can see clearly. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest, and I'm that little bit of hope. When my back's up against the ropes, I can feel it, I'm the world's greatest. I am a giant, I am an eagle, oh, I am a lion, down in the jungle. I am a marching band, I am the people, oh, I am a helping hand, I am a hero. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest, and I'm that little bit of hope.